like seriously, this movie should be called 16 Assholes. Because almost every
I don't
character,
disagree.
Almost every character is just terrible. This week's movie is 16 Candles, which I think we can all agree has aged like a slice of American cheese lost under a couch cushion. 16 Candles, in case you haven't seen it, is a 1984 John Hughes film starring Molly Ringwald as Samantha, who she's turning 16 years old, and everybody forgets her birthday. It's her sister's wedding the next day. She has all these relatives in the house, and the night of her birthday, there's a big house party at the house of the boy that she has a crush on. So it's not really a movie with a really solid plot so much as it is about a 16-year-old girl getting embarrassed over and over again, and then having the guy that she likes like her back, which is like the ultimate in 16-year-old girl fantasies, I suppose. Dana, as I understand it, this is the first time that you ever watched it. Tell me your first impression of the movie.
I was willing to give a wide berth to some of like what they found like the 80s sex comedy aesthetic, because I think I went into it knowing that it was made in a different time, and I was willing to accept that much. What I did like about the movie was I think Molly Ringwald is a star. Like, I think she comes across so fun and relatable and like cute, but not off-putting. Like, I hate when movies have like the most beautiful girl in the world just wearing glasses and they're like, she's a nerd, but like you kind of got what her social status was. I liked that. But when Long Duck Dong showed up, I was just like, oh, it's so hard to be on the movie side anymore, because you want to be on the movie side to like the characters and to be part of the journey. But when the movie is like, this is funny, you can't be behind it.
Every time he comes on screen, they hit a gong.
What's happening, hot stuff?
I didn't remember that.
Well, that's it. It's the movie itself saying this is funny,
It's
that
funny,
he exists.
right.
So that's what rubs me the wrong way. It's not even like jokes at his expense. It's like you said, the music cues and his name, and yeah.
Listen, tell me what you thought about it upon rewatching.
So I obviously watched this like 100 times growing up because it came out when I was in high school or middle school, whatever. And I just remembered it very differently. Like we always talk about like the different characters and who's good and who's bad and who's problematic. I didn't remember how problematic Jake was, that he makes like rape jokes when they're at the party, and he's like, oh, Caroline, she's passed out cold. I could violate her 10 different ways. What? I didn't remember that. That was terrible.
And when he's like, you can drive, when he told Ted, like, you can drive her home in my dad's Rolls Royce. That was a weird implied, like,
when he
have
says
fun.
She's so blitzed she won't know the difference. What?
Yeah.
And then once the geek, Anthony Michael Hall, drives her in the car, and they wake up in the parking lot, and she's like, did we do it? And he's like, I don't, or he's like, did we do it? She's like, I think we did. And he's like, did you like it? She's like, I think so. It's like, what? You were passed out. You don't remember. This is a terrible conversation. Abort, abort, abort.
Like,
so bad.
Truly horrifying. I feel like if we're honestly, like, it ends with Jake Ryan making a cake for her somehow and then blowing out the candles kissing over the candles. I was just like, as I watched it, I was like, well, this is the last good day of her life. Like, she now has this boyfriend who's a fucking full on like 80s casual rapist, you know?
And the worst kind of rapist, because he thinks he's a good guy. He's like, I'm dating the kind of nerdy girl. I'm a good guy. I'm one of the good ones.
It's funny because it's supposed to be a movie about the humanity of a teenage girl, and every other female character in that movie is totally bereft of humanity. Like her mother is completely like self-absorbed and terrible. The mother of her future brother-in-law, also terrible. The grandma is also
Terrible.
Like just and like the girlfriend of Jake.
Oh, Caroline. Awful.
Caroline, terrible.
Caroline's friends, all awful.
Caroline's
Uniformly
friends
awful.
Were terrible.
Did anybody else get strong Ivanka vibes from her sister?
Yes.
Ooh, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Strong Ivanka vibes.
For sure. The older sister who is getting married has this sort of like quaalude detachment.
Yeah, she floats.
Yeah, she's kind of like not really all there. Kind of an empty princess type person. And before her wedding, she takes muscle relaxers.
Four.
4 muscle relaxers. What are
Because she
muscle
has her
relaxers?
period.
Yeah, but see, do you know? Like, look, I guess I get it was the 80s, and so they had the period modifying pharmaceuticals were less than they are now. But like, we should feel sorry for her if she's got like such painful periods. She has to take 4 muscle relaxers.
The 80s were a different time. You know, it's like when women used to take speed in the 60s to lose weight. Back in the 80s, you just took a mouthful of muscle relaxers,
That,
I guess.
are over the counter. You just get them.
OTC, baby.
Yeah. OTC muscle relaxers.
Yeah. But it also could have just been that there was a male screenwriter who didn't bother to ask any women, like, what's a period like? What would happen if you had your period on your wedding?
You mean her monthly bill that came early?
Her monthly bill.
So let's talk about who among the characters was in any way redeemable versus who was the biggest jerk. So the way we tend to do this, or the way we do this, is the person who is a kind of irredeemable jerk gets categorized as this fucking guy. This fucking guy can be a male or female. They're this fucking guy. Somebody who is kind of a jerk but has redeemable qualities, is asshole but relatable. And then not the asshole are people that are innocent bystanders. So let's get started. Let's just go down the cast list. What do you guys think, Samantha?
Asshole but relatable.
Asshole but relatable.
She just wanted to have a good birthday and she had a crush on the hottest guy in school. You can't blame her.
Oh,
Her birthday was overtaken by her shitty sister's shitty wedding.
Her shitty, tacky wedding. Yeah.
Tacky
asshole
as
but
fuck.
relatable.
Jake Ryan.
This fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
He's also very
Fuck.
mean to his girlfriend. I'll also say that. Where he's dating someone and then totally making moves on Sam, which I didn't
What
like.
about when she went to talk to him and granted she was drunk, he fucking slammed the door on her, got her hair stuck.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to hate her so much that it doesn't matter what happens to her, which is like a really misogynist kind of bent in the movie. Which
I cared about her hair. This fucking guy, hands down.
This fucking guy for sure. Okay, how about the geek, Anthony Michael Hall as the geek?
Oh.
He's a rapist. This fucking guy.
This
There's
fucking
no
guy.
question.
Yeah, he's a rapist. Also, the underwear thing and he made a profit off that.
He did. You're right. This fucking guy.
This fucking guy. Okay, what about Sam Baker's sister? The
She
one that's getting
sucks.
made.
She's a new category, Ivanka,
She's an Ivanka.
She doesn't.
which is the equivalent of this fucking bitch.
She doesn't do anything actively wrong, but you're like, oh, you poor thing. What is your life? She's marrying into like a low-tier mob family, it seems. Ivanka!
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You guys, the parallels were extensive.
Wow. Okay, sure. How about Caroline?
Oh.
Asshole but relatable.
Yeah, I just feel bad for her. She clearly has a drinking problem.
Yeah, she does, and she's like got nice moments. And like when we meet her, we meet her boobs first.
Oh
in the
my
movie.
God, yeah.
How is that? This only rated PG? Like this is a.
Was it?
Yeah, you get one. I think you get one boobs. That's how those work.
Is that yeah? Well, anyway, when we meet her boobs, they introduce her like she's so nice and
She
everybody
is
loves
nice.
her.
At the dance in the hallway when Sam is crying, she doesn't know her and she goes, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. I guess she does like
that's
the
true.
one nice thing, but then she's like, I guess maybe the drinking causes her to be not nice.
I don't think she does anything wrong. I think she's a nice high school girl with a drinking problem, I think.
I think that she's a little bit of an asshole,
Maybe asshole, but relatable.
Asshole but relatable.
but she's close to not. I mean, she's
She
on the
shouldn't
lower
have,
end.
She shouldn't have
She's
thrown
a
party
low-grade asshole.
at Jake's house. Jake didn't want to party at his house, but she threw it
That's
there
true.
anyway. It's a little
She's a-
asshole. But
She is a low grade asshole, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like seriously, this movie should be called 16 Assholes because every almost every
don't
character.
disagree.
Almost every character is just terrible, including the screenplay. I mean, the screenplay is like it is bad. It is a morally bad thing. How do you think a movie like this could feel less dated?
I mean, it could be less racist.
Yeah, I think first we make it less racist. And also, I think it would have been a really fun movie if Jake breaks up with Caroline because she threw a party at his house and he didn't want that and she drinks too much. She has like a sad moment. She and the nerd genuinely bond and have this really nice night together and have this real, genuine connection consensually. That would be cute.
Mm-hmm. They could bond over their shared heartbreak over like because the guy the nerd likes the guy that just broke up with Caroline. That could have been a whole inciting incident for an adventure between two heartbroken people who did not need to do any raping in either direction.
No raping, no racism.
No, get rid of the raping and the racism and improve on the Jake
Yeah,
Ryan.
I think
Make him
if he's a better love interest and there's no raping, we have a charming coming of age story.
Okay. Alyssa, Dana, thanks for joining me for this, and there will be more Hysteria Movie Club next week.
Thank you.